This review contains spoilers. The group has its battle meeting. The battle starts and the good army gets pushed back. Then the dragons come to help but empower the enemy with their fire breath. The good army gets more pushed back. Then the Queen of Duran shows up with her army and saves the day. Viren dies but doesn't, and everyone is friendship. Let's jump into the review. Do you remember how the previous episode ended? Viren's army was already close at the spire, so you would think this episode will start with an epic battle, because how could you not start with this? The start of this episode will show you how the season finale will turn out. It starts with a painful joke. And this is the theme of this episode. Painful. It was a huge letdown. For some reason, someone thought he shall put all the bad jokes in this episode. It is similar to Season 2 Episode 1, and you had so many similarities to Season 1 that it was painful. Season 1 was not bad by any means, but not good either. It was beautiful and mediocre, and Season 2 improved so much, and it held this level until the last 2 episodes. So in the first 2 minutes you're in the episode, every excitement for this episode gets blown away by the humor. How continues this? With the next joke from Soren. Then they throw in a serious moment in which Soren opens up to Callum and tells him that he's sorry for how he had treated him, which would be a great character moment. But they neglect it immediately with Soren saying that it is also because Callum is smaller and weaker. In the previous episode, Shania said that she brought with her the rest of the Sunfire Elves. Mirren was alone at Luxoria. Now he is there with an army and with Claudia, and they don't start with magic? And they can do massive damage, so this makes no sense. I mean, Claudia uses magic at some point. Why now? Why not at the beginning, when her own army wouldn't get hit? She did this without any problem. Why not 3 times after this again? Anyways, the elves and Amaya try to close their lines. She looks back at Janai and smiles, and Janai does the same. Hey, let us throw in this love thing next to all the killing and the war. That doesn't take away suspension and excitement. I mean, there are cool moments in there too, like Janai fighting Prince Kasev or the dragons arriving, even if they turn out to be useless. Hey, there is excitement for you too. Dragons arriving, being useless. The problem is the bad things overshadow the good parts, especially when the bad things are that many. So the dragon breathes their fire and Claudia casts a shield. Did she just stand around and did nothing until now? And the same goes for Varen. The Queen of Duran killed Prince Kasev, but maybe he isn't dead because nobody's really dead. This is so fitting because his father said in Season 2 that she's so much wiser and smarter than his grown-up son. Oh man, so lame. Speaking of the dead, do you see this bird? I predict that this bird is King Harrow. Then you have the scene with the arrows. That's a lot of arrows and this shot looks cool. That will do damage. But regardless of the question of how they miss the Sunfire Elves, is there any way of taking away the excitement out of this scene as well? Of course, because the baker is part of the army and council lady too. Are you kidding me? He is even on the forefront and doesn't use a sword, but his rolling pin and jelly tarts. Hey, do you remember this guy? We got since season 1 the impression that Amaya and he are a couple. Nah, forget it, because we do not care for continuity or setup. We proved this since episode 1 that we don't care about things like this. Amaya and Janaya are a couple now. Why? Because of shared screen time, I guess. There was one specific thing what really was good. And I think the scene was with Soren, Claudia and Viren, in which Soren is prepared to kill his father to protect Ezran, is so well done. Even if Viren was just an illusion, it doesn't take away that he was ready to protect Ezran's life. And this was honestly my favorite scene. So in the end, Viren seems to win, but Rhaegar tackles him and falls with Viren down. Callum jumps too and can transform his arms into wings and saves her. Viren is still falling. Wait, are they really killing someone off for real? Nah, because Claudia used dark magic to reanimate Viren. Ezran's father was a bad king, it seems. Ezran made peace with the Sunfire Elves, and maybe with the Moonshadow Elves as well. With the Dragon Queen for sure, and this in a very short time, especially if you compare it with the time of how long King Harrow ruled. The season finale means we have a conclusion part, so let's conclude. Season 3 is enjoyable except of the last 2 episodes, and it's visually beautiful and has its own style. The music and sound effects are great and the voice acting is very good. It kind of feels that there are 2 different writers. With Season 2, Episode 2, the show did improve more and more, and at the end of Season 2 it was a good and fun show to watch. Season 3 has the same quality, if not even slightly improved, to Season 2. The last 2 episodes were not good, and that's a shame because it has this bitterness in it due to the bad quality in the end from a writing perspective. There are no real stakes for any of the characters we follow. If you like Season 1, you will love Season 2 and 3. If Season 1 was, like for me, painful but caught you with the art style and you noticed in Season 2 a rise in quality, then you will enjoy most of Season 3. I'm really disappointed by the ending. And I think episode 7 was the reason for it. This episode was so good and it felt like they found finally a balance of tone and seriousness and fun and humor with quotes. But I was wrong and it was a letdown for me. So this was my review of episode 9 with a conclusion. What did you think about this episode and the season as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Have a nice one. You take care. Bye.
It's fine. Let's just do this.